Hi guys, welcome back to
the channel.
I'm
hungry, I'm eating. Sorry, I didn't wait for the camera to be on.
If you know about Isaac toast, you know about Isaac toast. If you don't, I'm so sorry for you.
So sorry.
It's the best toast ever. Except they make that yellow sauce that I'm not a fan of, but
Sweet?
that's fine. Yeah, usually I ask them to take it out, but because this is delivery.
It's like the brunchy. Enjoy sweet moments.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be sweet.
We're back for another tea spill, right? The story that I watched recently, honestly, I kept it for today because I was like, this is the example of human triflingness. Like, for real, for freaking real. I was like, excuse me. Anyway, let me have a drink and then we'll get started. You're so dramatic for nothing.
Oh no.
So, the story begins in the house where obviously it's one of those very traditional houses where the married couple lives with their parents.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I don't know if they live together or if they live in like a community, because some really rich families in Korea, they actually buy multiple houses in one complex. Like the Samsung family, like they have like a complex and they all live on that property. And they have different houses. It's huge. So it's different houses, luxurious houses, but they all live in the same like vicinity.
In Seoul?
Yeah, it's almost like a gated community, the version in America. So anyway, this is one of those situations. Like obviously this is like a rich, like the patriarch is a rich man. And so his son has his wife. If you know about Korean culture, like being a daughter-in-law is actually quite an important role in terms of if you get married into a family, you become their daughter-in-law, you're kind of required to take care of it. Like if you live in the same house or the same vicinity, you're the one that's going to make them food. You're the one that's going to prepare the breakfast early in the morning. If it's the birthday of one of your parents-in-law, you have to make like an event. And if you don't, it's usually seen as quite rude. Now, obviously probably not everybody's doing it now in this generation, but I think it's still quite rampant. But anyway,
it is because I have an example of like when I was doing classes, one of the girls, she was a foreigner, Chinese, and she was living with her family, like husband and her husband's parents. She had to wake up every day at 6 a.m. to do the breakfast. I was like,
and she works too?
No, she was doing classes. But like she had a kid, she also had to take care of the kid.
So the emphasis was put on the daughter-in-law, and they were basically showing her like she's well dressed, she's very pretty, young, and she's opening like, oh hi, here's the meal. Everybody comes to the table and it's like an amazing meal. Like she's just an amazing cook and she does everything with a smile on her face. So she's obviously like the perfect daughter-in-law. Perfect daughter-in-law, makes delicious food for their parents and everything. And then the second son comes out and you learn that he got divorced, he has no kids, and so obviously his parents are like literally just like talking his ear off every time like the daughter-in-law does something. I wish you would find one like her soon, and just like putting pressure on him. So fast forward, the first son is like, oh, I feel so bad for my brother, and he asks his wife, he's like, do you know anyone that you want to introduce to him?
Good thing.
Yeah. And the father-in-law is like, yeah, we really want someone like you, like you're perfect, da da da. And so she's like, okay, I'll figure it out. I'll try to see a church, like if I find somebody. Fast forward, the younger brother is now married. He has the new wife that the first wife introduced. So they got married. Everything is fine, and she seems to be this perfect girl. She's also know how to cook and everything. She's like everything they've ever wanted. We see like a montage of things happening. So basically, the father is quite rich, as we said, and he keeps giving gifts to like everybody. Like he obviously bought them a home, everything, and then the new wife, she gets pregnant first before the other one. She gets pregnant, so the father is like, oh, I'm gonna give you a building like as a gift. Like this dude has like very long hands. Like he's just like, yeah, I'm gonna offer you a building.
Yeah. Wow, okay.
And everything, and you can see on the face of the first wife, she's like, what the hell, like why is she now becoming the favorite? Because she's pregnant first, right? So she's gonna have a child and she's gonna be the favorite, so she starts like kind of freaking out. But her husband is like, well, what's wrong with that, you know? And the reaction of the wife is way too intense. She's like, no, but why her first, da 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 da. And so one day they're all in the house, and then the husband is kind of like looking at his wife's behavior, because she's like looking at the younger wife like, ugh, kind of like, who is this bitch, you know? And so he's kind of like eavesdropping, and then he hears them talk. Turns out they know each other. Like, it's not just like someone from church that she knows. They're talking to each other with like a completely different accent, and they're like talking as if like they've known each other for years, like talking in like casual speak and everything, literally as if they've known each other. She's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, calm down. Why would you get the building first? I brought you into this house and I opened to this rich family, and now you're like trying to like do too much, blah 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 blah. And he's like, what the hell?
Hello, I'm right here.
What the hell?
But would you not say anything? It's
yeah,
sketchy
exactly.
As hell. Okay.
It's so sketchy. So basically, he starts kind of watching her moves just to see, like, have a bit more proof of maybe she's lying or something. And he starts following her. And when she says, like, oh, I gotta go to, like, so-and-so's house to do this, he realizes she's not going to those places. Like, she's not staying where she's supposed to stay. One day, he actually follows her. He's in his car, and she gets out of the car, like, a few blocks. And then she gets out of the car, and it's, like, a completely new person. Like, this girl who usually dresses pretty much like a nun. She's always, like, long skirt, like shirt up to here, just cooking and cleaning all day. She gets out of the car, she's in high heels, mini dress, like bodycon, just like, obviously she's going to the club. So she goes down the stairs, and he's like following, he's like, what the hell is going on? And so when he follows her, the people at the door try to like stop him. He's like, hey, you're not allowed here, la 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 la. And then he's like, get the fuck out of my way. And he goes anyway, and he, first of all, he opens, and obviously you have the slow motion, and the lady turns around, and it's not her, it's the other wife.
He followed the wrong one?
He followed the right one, but he opened another door. And that's the other wife over there.
The youngest one.
Yeah, and she has like alcohol in her hand. Mind you, they both said they don't drink. That was the whole, like, their whole personality trait. Every time the father-in-law was like, we should have it in, she was, oh, you know we don't drink, next time, blah blah blah. To be like, oh, we're so pure and like demure. So she has one shot in her hand, one cigarette in the other, and she's like, like, what the heck? And he's like, yeah. So he's like, what are you doing here? And where's my wife? And then you hear the voice like, genre, yeah, what are you doing? Like, you're taking so fucking long. And the wife comes in, and he's like, what is going on here? Like, what the fuck? Who are you? Like, what's wrong with you? And he's freaking out, obviously. And they're with guys too. Like, there are guys in the room. And basically you realize they're in the host bar.
Another one.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So now you have to the next scene where they're sitting there like looking all sorry, and they're trying to like explain to him like the reality. And so she starts flashback, yeah, we know each other since high school, we come from whatever region, that's why we have an accent, and we're just pretending to speak like soul people. And basically the narration says 노는 여자들, which is women who play. Technically, 노는 in Korean, it means play, but it really means going to the club. That's what it means. So in my head, I'm like, well, what's wrong with that, you know? But in their story, it's like this huge, like, they used to go clubbing, and they dropped out of high school, and so they never went to the university, even though they lied about it. So basically they associate this like somebody who likes nightlife and going out to like being this person who dropped out of school. Like, obviously they putting them together to make it worse, I guess, but in reality, was it really the case? Like, isn't it just that they go clubbing?
Isn't it just the way to accentuate the fact that they are now cheating on their husband, respectively, to be in a
but
host
they're not
bar?
cheating.
What?
They're just drinking alcohol with these people. Well, that we know.
That's what I'm saying. Why are you here? Also, you don't need the money. Apparently, you don't need to be working here. Yeah. So why?
No, they're not working. They're the clients. They're giving money to these kids. They're the one paying for it.
I thought that. Oh my god.
They like to go clubbing and drink.
Then go clubbing. Why
That's
go
their
to a
premise.
bar?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's their premise. No, but I guess here you also have the privacy thing, so that's why host bar exists, because it's like those rooms. They look like karaoke rooms.
It's not a club. If you like clubbing,
no, they used to club like from high school to now, and now they're grown and they go to host bar to keep doing the nightlife stuff.
Jesus.
So that's the premise. That was it. Their thing is that at first that was it. The premise was that they like to go out, and he was like, I can't believe I married this kind of woman. And now, and at that moment I was like, come on now, it doesn't mean she's a bad at first.
Considering a Korean society.
Yeah.
I understand. Because the way that the people view the nightlife here,
That's why
if
for
you-
them
yeah,
it was a
if you're
complete shock.
that into nightlife, then that means that you're
Literally
into,
every
like,
night
a
since high
specific
school,
stuff,
like
yeah.
that's all you can do. And they have the money, they have no job, so they just basically, I guess you realize after, like, they kind of like scamming around a little bit, and that's why they were looking for. Okay.
Cheesy?
Wow. Yes, I do.
That's so okay.
That's very random.
Yeah, I was like yellow. Sorry.
Yeah. So basically, their whole thing is that they're not as polished as they say they are. And
They
you
just like
realize,
the whole thing, basically.
so you realize, like, from the get-go, she knew that the guy was rich. That's why she seduced him, got married, and then tried to bring her friend into the same family in order to be taken care of and have money.
Do we know how they met?
The girls? The couple? No, they don't say. But basically, from the get-go, her whole role was this pure, delicate lady.
Because then I'm very confused on how you meet. If you don't run in the same
Yeah.
circles, if he doesn't go
Yeah,
out
yeah,
apparently
yeah.
because she's a pure lady, she cannot be.
She probably went to his like church because she was talking about church at some point. She probably went to his church and tried to be like, I'm the perfect wife material. Anyway,
dedicated, huh? Jeez.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
my
he's
God.
like, yeah, first of all, we're gonna call off all the, not call off, but like, we're gonna divorce, and I'm gonna tell my brother about you because, you know, she's like, how could you do this to my brother who already like went through divorce? Now he has to separate, and then they completely turn around and they're like, oh, if you say it, then the rumors are gonna spread, and what is that gonna say about your family? Like, you're gonna have the shame, blah 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 blah. So they basically blackmail him into not saying anything.
That's so dumb.
Yeah, so he
Anyway.
doesn't say anything.
Wow.
So basically now they continue living like this where the guy already knows, and so he's always giving the wife a side eye every time she says something like, oh my god, he's like, but he says nothing because he doesn't want to hurt his brother.
Personal question: if it was that situation when not necessarily this one, but something that if it goes out, it could like embarrass your family,
I don't care.
you would still do it, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
because
not crazy.
you're not
Because
about to
I'm
play
like,
with me.
what?
The fuck?
So I'm supposed to
Shame
be
to my
miserable
family. All right, we're gonna be shamed for a week, and then people
somebody
are gonna talk
else-
about something
yeah.
else. What do you mean?
because I'm not gonna be miserable all my life just because oh my god people are gonna talk.
But I guess here in the society or back in the day, it was more powerful, I guess. So they don't say anything. And the girl, she's like, we're never gonna go clubbing anymore. Like, we're gonna, if you forgive us, like, we're gonna be like those stand-up ladies, blah, 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 blah. Obviously, they don't stop. Things get like a little crazier because the husband is like trying to find obviously a way to get rid of them, but he can't because he doesn't want to say anything. And then in the meantime, he realizes actually the problem was actually bigger than what he thought it was. And turned out they both were in extreme debt. And people who they owed money to were looking for them. So now that they know that they're in this rich family, obviously they're trying to like turn to the family of the guy. And when he realizes this, she's like, well, what are you gonna do? Just give me the money. Like, if you just want this to go away, just give me the money. Like, she makes a scene. She's the one screaming, like the wife. She's like, just give me the money. You know we need the money, and you don't want me to tell everybody, right? And so his question to the MC is, what should I do?
Well,
That's
I already
literally
said
it.
what I said. Just whatever, divorce. Do you?
But I wouldn't want to pay her because I
No,
feel like
don't
she would
pay
come
her.
back all the time.
I would never. Why would I pay
Yeah,
her?
but what about now the people, the loan sharks looking for them now? Because they don't
They
care.
look for you.
But
I
they don't
divorce.
care.
I divorce.
But
Not
they
me.
don't care. You're still in this moment right now. The guy is actively looking for her. So divorce or not divorce, now he has a visual of who he could get the money from. If she doesn't have anything, she doesn't mean anything to him anymore. So she's like, all right, what about you?
Do they do that, loan sharks? Like, if you own money, they're gonna go beat your moms up. If she has money, they're gonna go beat
I
your
wouldn't
mom.
put it past them.
But like,
And also, even if they decide to divorce, because right now the situation you're right now, even if you decide to, you know how long it takes to divorce here. So you're in danger and you did nothing wrong. So now he's like, how do I find a way to legally get her off my
Do we know
property?
the amount?
No, but it's in like pretty bad.
maybe you
Damn.
just like pay it off, but directly to the loan sharks, pay it off, and then divorce.
And get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here and do better next time again.
Yeah.
But,
By the way, the lady was never pregnant. The other one.
what was the plan here? How do you? This is so insane to me. Like, what was the point of lying on pregnancy?
She was probably gonna say I lost the baby, but now
she wanted to
she got the
extend?
favor from the family, but oh, I lost the baby.
Then
This one
is,
was a short story, but I was so bamboozled by it. I was like, how are
This-
people so evil?
This sounds too much like a drama.
Mm-hmm.
I
Honestly.
cannot believe it's like a real life.
Honestly.
What do you
Some
mean?
people are dangerous.
I'm really curious on where they met though.
Yeah.
I would love to know because that makes no sense to me. If it's church, okay.
Yeah.
But other than church, I don't see it.
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense.
You're not in the same circles. So how?
Or she planned it so much. She was like, she didn't care about who it was, but she was like, I'm gonna find a rich husband, so I'm gonna go and dress up like
So
I'm this like
business expense.
pretty much. So yeah, that was the thing. I don't know if you guys are in this situation, which I don't hope for you. What would you do?
That's a very how do you say? It's gonna be very difficult to be found in this situation, I guess.
I was actually gagging. I was watching. I was like,
What?
wow.
Yeah, more like what the hell? How?
Because one I understand, but both.
No, both make sense. If
Hey.
one is in, why not the second
That's
one? Bring my friend.
crazy.
It is the first one how you get there. The second one is easy to fake. Once you're already here, you have the funds. Come in, let's go. What is very dumb is that they still continue doing the going to host bar and stuff.
Oh yeah, and they really thought they were slick that nobody would catch them.
Actually stupid. Like please.
Yeah, issues.
Anyway, no, they're a bit dumb, and the guy, well, sucks
Poor
to be
guy.
you, I guess.
Yeah.
The bottom line is perfection is not a thing. If somebody is too perfect, there's something fishy behind it.
I need to stop rushing people into marriage just because.
Yeah. For what? To have to pay back the debts after that you didn't know existed?
Thank
Lovely.
you.
They're lovely.
Good job. This toast is not great today, huh? What's
Oh
happening?
really? Me, it was delicious.
I had it though. I had it like 3 days ago. It was good. This part maybe is the issue.
Anywho.
Anyway,
That was it.
this one was a short one,
Yeah.
short and sweet.
And we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Unbelievable. Moi, I would sue you.
Me-
I would find a way to sue you because